Hey you guys, welcome and welcome back to my channel. It's your girl, Goddess of Love and Truth Reacts. I am back yet again to give this breaking news update. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with the Chad Daybell trial where him and his wife Lori Daybell, she's already been tried and sentenced. His trial was just taking place and it just ended. They did find him guilty, and now he has been sentenced to death. As you see on the screen, Chad Daybell sentenced to death in triple murder of family. So just to give you guys a little background story, Lori Daybell was initially married to Charles Vallow, I believe that was his name, Charles Vallow, and she was Lori Vallow at the time. Her and Chad was already plotting to kill him and get his insurance money. Chad also was married to Tammy Daybell, so they plotted to go ahead and kill their spouses so that they can be together. And as you know, they have text messages saying it and everything. So Charles Vallow, he felt like something was going on. He contacted his insurance company to change the beneficiary to his sister. And when he called, he realized that someone had changed the address, changed it where he wasn't able to access it because they put a password on there which he did not request. Not only is it his insurance policy, he's also an insurance agent, and he did not make those changes. So he had to go through all types of stuff to get that rectified, but he finally was able to get it rectified, and he was able to set up another password and change his address back to his address that it should have been. Well, actually he changed it to I think his office address or his work address or something like that, but he was able to get all of the stuff changed back to what it should be, and to get the beneficiary changed to his sister instead of his wife, because he felt like his wife was up to no good. Now, Lori, she already had an older son. I forgot his name. I don't even want to quote it because I don't want to say it wrong. She had an older son before she got with Charles, and she also had a daughter. So Lori and Charles had a son, and his name was JJ Vallow. Well, Lori's brother ended up shooting Charles and killed Charles, but they got away with it because they made it seem like Charles was attacking them, but Charles had already been contacting the police, letting them know that they had been, doing different things or whatever, but nobody believed him. If someone would have listened to him, then maybe he would still be alive, and maybe their kids would still be alive. Yes, their kids are dead as well. So, her brother Alex is the one that shot Charles, but the daughter and Lori, they both lied, and Alex was able to get off. They tried to make it seem like it was self-defense, which it really wasn't. Not too long after that, maybe like a couple of months after that, the daughter, she was 16 years old, she ended up missing. They was not able to find her. Then a few weeks after she ended up missing, their son JJ was missing. Now JJ is the sheriff's son with Charles Vallow and Lori Vallow Daybell, because she's no longer Vallow, she's Daybell because she married Chad. They both were missing. The kids were missing. A couple of months after the kids was missing, and I forgot what year this was. I think this was like 2018 or maybe 2019. I don't want to say the months and everything because I don't want to get everything confused. Well, yep, see, 2019. Say it on the screen right there. I wasn't looking at the screen while I'm recording, but yeah. So I believe it happened like in June when they killed Charles. And then in September is when the kids came up missing. And then in, I want to say, November is when Tammy died. And I say died because they eventually found out that they did kill her, but Chad tried to make it seem like it was natural causes, like it was something with her medication or something, she wasn't feeling well or something like that. They was trying to make it seem like she died of natural causes, but they ended up resuming her body after all of these suspicious deaths. And once they ended up finding the kids, because the kids, remember, in September, they was just missing. They hadn't been pronounced as dead as of yet. So June, Charles died. September, the kids come up missing. November, Tammy died. And then in December, Lori's brother, Alex, who killed Charles, ended up dying. He died some about a blood clot, but I doubt that too. I think they probably killed him as well. Now, I saw some of the trial, but I didn't follow all of the trial because, yeah, it was long. It was a lot going on. I didn't follow any of Lori's trial because when Lori had her trial, I wasn't familiar with the case. So I didn't get familiar with the case until Chad Daybell trial started. So December, Alex died. So Chad and Lori, they was off in Hawaii somewhere, and they got stopped, or the police came to them and they was like, listen, you have a certain amount of days to produce your kids. And everybody's wondering, like, girl, why are you in Hawaii on vacation with your new husband? Oh yeah, and she got married to him. They got married, I believe, in November as well, like right after his wife died. I believe they got married. It was November or December. I forgot to say that part. So yeah, right after his wife died, these MFs got married like it wasn't anything. So back to Hawaii. So in January of 2020, they're in Hawaii and they're having vacation and, enjoying themselves, having a good time. And your kids is missing. Why have you not said anything about your kids being missing or whatnot? So she never did produce her kids. They told her she needed to produce them by a certain time. She didn't produce them, so she ended up getting arrested. And I'm sorry if I got the timeline off. My apologies. Y'all can do your research and get it. And we're gonna read over this article. It may give the details. So she ended up getting arrested, and then her and Chad was having phone conversations. I forgot what date. It's probably going to say it in the article. But on one date, they was saying something over the phone. And it make you think like of the like they hid the bodies or something. They crazy. They talk like how Ernesto and Sonya do. They try to talk in circles like people dumb, like they don't understand what you're saying. Like just because y'all think y'all smart don't mean that y'all smarter than everybody else. So they was pretty much telling on themselves. So right after that phone call, the police came with a search warrant to Chad Daybell's house, and guess what? They found the bodies of the daughter and the son. The daughter was 16, the son JJ was 6 years old. So this broad Lori done killed her husband and killed her two youngest kids so she can be with this man Chad, and Chad done killed his wife and probably her brother Alex. I don't know which one of them killed Alex, but one of them killed him too, if not both of them. Then killed all these folks. So that's what Charles, I forgot the daughter name. The daughter, JJ, Tammy, and Alex. That's 5 people. 5 people they done killed within a 6-month time frame. 6-month time frame. Oh, and not to mention her daughter, the 16-year-old. Lori was married to the 16-year-old's dad as well. He died as well. So I don't know if they're gonna go back and try to uncover that or whatever, but she probably had something to do with that too. And I'm pretty sure the oldest son, the reason why he didn't die, because he was grown and out on his own, have a family and a wife and kids of his own. But she knew she was going to do something to them, because when he testified in Chad's trial, he said that his mom brought his brother and sister there and said that that say goodbye to them because we finna go on a trip or whatever. But that was like weird to me. Like, why would you be saying say goodbye just to go on a trip? I'll see y'all later. You know what I'm saying? So she pretty much knew she was gonna kill him, and she was letting him say goodbye. But he didn't understand that then, but he realized it later. So anywho, that's the backstory. So let's go ahead. Let's get into this. It says Chad Daybell sentenced to death in the triple murder of family. An Idaho jury sentenced Chad Daybell, the man who was convicted this week for the 2019 murders of his first wife and second wife's 2 children, to death. So that was Tammy and then Laura's 2 kids. So he was sentenced for all 3 of them. All right, so it says Daybell did not show any emotion when the judge read the jury's verdict. It took 2 days for the jury to come to their decision. On Thursday, the jury found him guilty on all counts. Thursday, in what prosecutors said was a plot to pressure money, power, and sex. To pursue money, power, and sex. Daybell, 55, was charged with murder and conspiracy in the deaths of the 2 children, Joshua J.J. Vallow, 7. Oh, so he was 7 years old. And Tylee, okay, that was her name. Tylee Ryan, 16, as well as his former wife of nearly 30 years. Oh my God, 30 years. Tammy Daybell, 49, with whom he had 5 children. She died in their home on October 19th, 2019. So I told y'all I probably had the months mixed up, but it was still around the same time. October 19th, 2019, with the cause of death determined to be, I don't know what they say, that word right there. I'm not going to even try. According to investigators, prosecutors said Daybell, the author of books about the apocalypse, promoted spiritual beliefs to justify the murders and had claimed that all 3 were possessed and marked them for death so that he and his new girlfriend, Lori Vallow, could be together unencumbered by earthly relatives, earthly obstacles. Sorry, guys. Daybell and Vallow were married in Hawaii 2 weeks after the killings. Wow, I told y'all it was shortly. I didn't know they got married in Hawaii though, but 2 weeks after the killings. Wow. According to prosecutors, 2 weeks? Wow. OMG. Daybell's guilty verdict came more than a year after Vallow was also convicted of murdering her 2 youngest children. She was sentenced to life in prison after a judge granted the defense a motion to dismiss the death penalty in her case. They should have gave her the death penalty as well. They ain't gonna mention her brother, so I guess they couldn't find no evidence that her brother, that they killed the brother, but I feel like they killed him too because he knew what happened, what was going on. Vallow faces charges over the death of her 4th husband, Charles Vallow, who was shot and killed by her brother in 2019. Daybell was also found guilty of 2 counts of insurance fraud related to $430,000 in life insurance policies he had on Tamara Daybell, for which he was the beneficiary. Before the jury began their deliberations over the sentencing Friday, several family members recalled their grief over Tamara Daybell's sudden death on October 19, 2019, and the ensuing anguish and anger to learn that following an exhumation to conduct an autopsy, she was murdered. So yeah, I told her they exhumed her body. Yep. So they found out she was murdered. My sister should not be dead right now, Samantha Williams or G. Williams told the court. She should be here, alive, smiling with her family and friends. She should be doting on her grandchildren and taking care of her animals. Her siblings expressed their shock and horror at learning that 2 children were also killed. I wretched and sobered over learning about JJ and Tylee, Williams said through tears. Ryan was a child from Vallow's 3rd marriage, while JJ was the nephew of her 4th husband, Charles Vallow, whom they adopted. Wait, what? Ryan was a child from Vallow's third marriage, while JJ was the nephew of her fourth husband, Charles Vallow, whom they adopted. Oh, I didn't know that. I thought that was their son. Wow. So they adopted him? OMG. I thought that was his kid. I mean, their kid. Wow. That's crazy. You done adopted this kid and then killed him? Wow. Even if it was her kid or adopted kid, it's still messed up and it's crazy. These people are just evil. Kay Woodcock, JJ's grandmother, described her immense pain over the boy's death, which she called a betrayal that can't be explained. There is a hole in my heart, in the heart of every member of my family that can't never be filled and will remain the rest of my life, she said, crying. She said JJ was incredibly smart and compassionate and cried over the fact that she could not create more memories with him. The constant questions remains, who would he have become, she said. Will he be a famous scientist with incredible math skills? What about his amazing imagination have bloomed into? What would his amazing imagination have bloomed into? Who would have been the next? Okay, I can't read today. Sorry, guys. Would have been the next Albert Einstein, Steve Jobs, Tim Burton, Elon Musk. Not Elon Musk. We would never know, but we do know how incredibly special he was to us. That's so sad. The children's brother, Kobe Ryan, Vallow's eldest child, okay, that was his name, Kobe, testified. Eldest child expressed his grief at not seeing his siblings grow up. It's very hard for me to put into words what it means to have lost my entire family, he told the court. In short, I've lost everything I've ever known. Look at Daybell, ugly self. Daybell did not address the court during the sentencing phase of the trial. Oh, but Lori did. Her crazy, but she tried to make it seem like everybody else was crazy except for her. She should have just remained silent. That woman, whew, that's why I don't see why they took off the death penalty. She should have got the death penalty too. He also did not take the stand to testify in his own defense prior to the verdict. Since the death penalty was established in Idaho in 1864, the state has carried out 29 executions, most recently in 2012, according to the Death Penalty Information Center. There are currently 8 residents on death row in Idaho, according to the State Department of Corrections. All right, you guys, so there you have it there. He was found guilty, and he is sentenced to death. Good for him. I wish Lori would have got the same fate because she definitely deserved it as well. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thank you guys again for tuning in. Have a great rest of your day.